Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about reading skills and just a few simple ways that you can use Neolemon at home with the little ones to help improve their skills. Reading is such an important skill, but a lot of children are struggling with it. According to the nation's report card, back in 2024, only 31% of fourth graders performed at or above the proficient level for reading. 40% performed below the basic level. So today I want to just share a few practical things that you can use Neolemon with to make reading more easier, enjoyable, and less like a chore for your little ones. As a former teacher, I spent several years overseas teaching, and one of the biggest things that I've learned was that if you want to grab the attention of your students, of your child, you have to start with something that they enjoy. So when I was teaching, the biggest thing overseas was Frozen and of course Pokemon. And so I would take those characters and I would build upon those characters in my lessons. Now, I didn't necessarily have to change any of my lessons. I didn't have to focus entirely on those characters, but somehow, some way, I found a way to incorporate those in my PowerPoints, in my worksheets, in my stories that I would write for them. And that allowed for them to focus more on what we were going over. And it's the same thing for your little ones. You have to find something or create something that's going to grab their attention. What do they like? Do they like fairies, dinosaurs, you name it? Find out what they like and create upon that. All right, so let's get into it. How can Neolemon help with improving your little one's reading skills? So you're going to create books, worksheets, you name it, around something that they love. So that's step one. First, find out, if you don't already know, what your little one is fixated on at the moment. It could be a new cartoon that just came out around, I don't know, space. Or it could be dinosaurs, it could be fairies, it could be mermaids, you name it. Find out, if you don't know, what they are fixated on. Step two is to actually create the character. So let's go into Neolemon and we're going to go click on create new character. And I already have the description. I'm just going to paste that in. And again, we're going to create a mermaid for this topic. And I always do for the action inspection for full body front view. She's not going to be standing because she's a mermaid. And I just want her smiling, plain white background. I like to do everything 3x4, and we're gonna keep it Pixar-style and generate. All right, cool. This is my mermaid. I like it, I love it. And we're just going to keep that. If you already have a personalized image of your child, then that would be your next step, is to create a personalized image for your child. I already have one in the Neolemon database. This was my baby picture, and I've already uploaded it and converted it into a cartoon version of me. So this is what I'm going to be working with. But of course, if you have other images, older images, whatnot, use whatever you want or whatever they like to create this next step. So I have my baby picture, I have the mermaid, and we're going to create a story based on these two characters. So those are the first two steps. All right, so for step three, you're just going to create a simple adventure. Remember to create a simple story, one problem, one goal, and keep it easy enough to follow for the child. You don't want to overstimulate them and have it so complex where they can't concentrate. So one problem, one goal, for your books that you're going to create for them. You also want to make sure that when you're creating these stories per page, you want to be able to ask a interactive or a predictive question based off of what was written. So for example, in this story that we're going to create the scene, Maya's collecting seashells when she heard a tiny voice. A little mermaid peeked out from behind a rock. I'm Marina. I can't find my way home. Maya smiled. I'll help you. So an interactive question or a predictive question would be, where do you think Marina lives? So something that can get the child to start thinking on their own about that story. So it's as simple as that. Get them to think about the story that they just read. So let's go in and create the scene. So let's go back to the home page. And so we have two characters. So we're gonna go to, let's see, Story Scene Pro. And let's see, actually, yeah, I'm gonna change that to two characters. And I'm going to paste in my prompt, delete that. And I'm going to go into the database and get my images. So I have the mermaid, and then I'm going to find my baby picture. There we go. And select Mini Me. So Maya is Mini Me. Marina is the mermaid. And I'm just selecting the @ sign and clicking on the character. So character 2 and character 1. And Maya is standing on the beach, so I'm going to select 2. Standing on the beach, collecting seashells near the shoreline, and she notices Marina. All right, that's good enough for me. I'm going to do portrait and generate scene. Okay, so this is the image that it created, and it has Mini Me collecting seashells on the beach. I like that. It has Marina hiding behind that rock, just like we described, and we have our image. If you don't like that she's reaching out, of course you can regenerate and critique the expression and how she's standing and whatnot, but this is good for now. So what we're going to do is go on to the next step, step 4. All right, step 4 is to keep your text short, sweet, to the point, manageable. Don't stress your kids out. So to do that, you're going to go back to the Neolemon. You're going to go to the home page, and you're going to click on Canvas. Since we created the images in Neolemon, they're already saved in the database. So you're going to select the size of the canvas that you want. I'm going to go down to, what is it, 8.5 by 11. Add the image. There she is. I'm going to expand it out. And I'm going to add, let's do a blob and expand that out. Oops, put that down here. Add my text here, and I'll just get the text in just a second. Okay, so for the sake of this video, this is how I just laid it out, but you would just insert your text, and this is a page for your book. You can, of course, go ahead and export the page and keep on creating from there. All right, and as you can see, step 5 is use the picture as part of the reading. For example, when you have your other images created, ask questions from the scene. What kind of seashells do you see? What color seashells do you see? Where do you think they're at? How's the weather? Whatever it is, whatever you can pull from that picture, from that image, start asking questions about the image to your child. This is going to help them to actually focus more on the story, focus more on the image, and help decipher what is going on in the scene, what is going on in the text, and so that they can take those context clues. That's the main thing, context clues. As you are building your story and adding on your pages, make sure that you use more repetition. Repetition is key for building the reading skills. You might think for yourself, this is redundant, but this is what the children need. They need repetition. They need to see it over and over again. So things start to stick, things start to click. So repetition is also a great tip to use when you are writing your books. It could be your stories, your worksheets, whatever you're doing to help improve the reading skills for your young ones. But repetition is definitely another key tool that you want to use when you're putting these images or these stories together for your little one. One last thing that I want to say is when you are building your or making your storybooks, personalized storybooks for your children, also add in other skills. So especially with the really young ones, If you have things that they can count, make sure you add that in, ask those questions. Anything, any other skills that you can add into your story to include with the reading skills, math skills, science skills, whatever. If you can include that all in one, that even better. You want to also make sure you're being patient. If the child is struggling with a word, you of course have them sound it out. Don't be so quick to give them the word. Make them, especially if you have enough repetition in the story, if they saw the word that they are having trouble with earlier in the story, maybe on the first page, third page, fourth page, and by the time they get to the sixth page, that same word is there. You make sure that you are not rushing in there to give them the word, and have them go ahead and have some patience and try to, so that they can recall that word. So you don't want to always just rush in to give them the word. Make them sound it out. Have some other phonics skills that you can imply with the reading session, and use those tips over and over. And again, all they have to do is keep on trying, little 10 minutes here, 10, 15 minutes there, and those reading skills will build upon themselves. So even though this is not the normal content for this channel, we wanted to use this video to give out these tips because the new school year has started here in the States, or if you're up north, it should be starting in the next 2 weeks. But we wanted to show you that using Neolemon, you can go beyond just KDP books, writing books for fun. You can use it for your child, your younger ones, educational growth. Use it for building materials for your reading practice, comprehension, encouraging them to just get more involved in their learning. And so with Neolemon, you can create all kinds of material for their education and customize it, get them more in tune with what they're learning. So if you like this content, go ahead and let me know in the comments what you liked about this video, and let us know what you would like to see in the future videos. And thank you for your time. See you in the next one.